Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militang Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. My spiritual master, the founder Acharya of this movement, has opened my eyes. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, but by his teachings, he has opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namane. My spiritual master is situated at the lotus feet of Krishna. He's very dear to Krishna. Why? Because as we learn from Bhagavad Gita, anyone who preaches the message of the Gita, Krishna says, there's no one more dear to him. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane. My spiritual master, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, has a mission. His mission is to destroy the two most dangerous philosophies, voidism and impersonalism. And my spiritual master is a disciple of his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Trinadapi Sunichena Torariva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. This mantra is the mantra that I live by. It has been the secret of success, any success that I've had in this 71 years old. This mantra has been the key. Lord Chaitanya, the composer of this verse, we learn from Chaitanya Charitamrita, this verse is so important that it must be worn around the neck for constant remembrance. What is the meaning? Number one, I am nothing but the insignificant servant of Krishna, and I must always see myself lower than the straw in the street, lower than a blade of grass. I must be more tolerant than a tree. I must give respect to all others. Why? Krishna is in your heart. So I must respect you because you are the reservoir of Krishna who is seated in your heart. And the fourth item, I must not be concerned what people say, think, or feel about me. I have to let it go. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalau nastyeva, nastyeva, nastyeva gatiranyata. This is the age of Kali, the age of quarrel and confusion, hypocrisy, the iron age, the age of cheating. So, only one thing is recommended. What is the religion of this age? It is simply to chant the holy name of God. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Now let's all sing together. Hare Krishna, come on. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. All right, you do it on your own. Very nice. Jai. Excellent. I see that we are on the same page. The kirtan tells me whether or not I've already lost you. So this is good. So as was announced, this is a pre-Janmashtami, shall we say, get you fired up for tomorrow. The happiest day of the year. Krishna Janmashtami. And I was thinking the past so many weeks to do this lecture in so many different ways. And I always like to do something new and fresh. So I got a text message from Krishna the other day. And the text message was that let Krishna speak for himself. There's like the president or some big personality, they hold a press conference. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks for himself. So I've selected certain verses, and this will help us to understand who is this Krishna? Who is this person that many of us have given our lives to? We have surrendered to this Krishna. Who is this Krishna? So Krishna will speak for himself. First, we go to the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. The 14th chapter is entitled, The Three Modes of Material Nature. Mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. And in that chapter, Krishna gives a summary of the different qualities and effects of the three different modes. And at the end of this chapter, this very powerful statement comes. Brahmano hi pratishtaham amritasya vyayasya cha shasvatasya cha dharmasya sukasya kantikasya cha. In this verse, Krishna says, me, Krishna, I am the resting place. I am the origin. I am the source of the all-pervading Brahman, the all-pervasive spiritual energy that everything rests on. So Krishna says that Brahman, or Brahmajyoti, that's coming from me. There are some people who I say jokingly, they're spiritually dyslexic. They think just the opposite. They think, oh, Krishna comes from the Brahman. Krishna comes from the impersonal. But that's not what Krishna says. Don't take it from me. This is what Krishna says. This first line, Brahmana, he certainly, Pratishta aham, the resting place, the origin. Krishna says that's me. And this Brahman, what is it? It's immortality. It is imperishable. It is eternal. And it's the constitutional position of ultimate happiness. So if that's true for Brahman, what to speak of Krishna? After all, Lord Brahma, the creator, in his shloka says that Sachid Ananda Vigraha. That word, Vigraha, form, body. Krishna's transcendental body is Sat, eternal, Chit, fully cognizant, and Ananda, ever increasing happiness. Oh, we wish we could call up Amazon.Prime. Please, give me Ananda, please. No, you cannot buy it. Ananda, you have to awaken to it. You have to be realized, self-realized. It's there, but we've forgotten it. Now, next sloka I collected. In the 18th chapter, Prabhupada, our spiritual master, says that Bhagavad Gita is actually finished in 17 chapters. The 18th chapter is a resummarization, recapitulation. So there are some very important verses in that 18th chapter. This one is one of my favorites. Ishvara sarva bhutanang hriddesha arjun tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudhani mayaya. So the first verse, Brahman, the first aspect of the absolute truth. This verse deals with the second aspect of the absolute truth, Param Atma, as I already indicated. God is in your heart. Krishna. This Krishna. Not exactly this Krishna. Krishna in his four-armed form as Narayana. Four-handed. Our Krishna here, the Krishna that we love and worship, is two-handed. Which reminds me, when I was raised in Catholic school for 13 years, and I was taught so many different things in the catechism, they taught me man is made out of the image and likeness of God. But unfortunately, they don't have any more information. But when you read Krishna, when you read the story of Krishna, not the story, history of Krishna, not story, his story, then you find out, oh yes, Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, and he has a human-like form. Not human form. We all know what the human form is like. You get up every morning, Krishna does not wake up like that. Yes, Krishna goes to sleep. But when Krishna wakes up, he's jubilant. Ananda. So, three aspects of the absolute truth. This one, Krishna in the heart. I love this concept. Believe it or not, when I was 5 years old, I still remember where I was on the front steps of my house. Short pants. Looked like some little Pinocchio, the way I was dressed. And I had this realization. God is in my heart. But they didn't teach me that in Our Lady of Loretto Catholic School or in Chaminade High School. They didn't teach that. This is something I had learned from a previous life. But where, I don't know. When I came to Bhagavad Gita, aha, this is where I get it from. So I've told many times over the years, I know in a previous life, I think I was Hindu. Why do I say that? Because for the past 25 years, 95% of my friends are Hindus. Why is that? Yes, and many of them, they accept me as like a family member. I even have special names in some families. They have accepted me. So, obviously, this reminds me, oh yes, this is not the first time I'm coming in contact with this information. Because how come I picked up the philosophy quickly? Why was I able to chant the mantras? No problem. Picking up from where I left off. Somehow or other, I must have made a big mistake. But it's okay. I came in contact with Prabhupada. All is good. So Krishna says, I am in your heart. Hriddeshe, Hrit, heart. And what am I doing? I am the super controller of the highway of life. Just like our streets. Our highways, they're under control. The lights are synchronized, right? And they can override it, change it. So Krishna is the master manipulator of this material world. And we are just like passengers or drivers of a car. Most of you, if not all of you, came here in your car. You drove or you rode, and now you're out of your car, you're here. And if I say to you, oh, hello, Toyota, you would go, Nirantara, what happened to Nirantara? What, has he gone crazy? You're not your car. Just like in the news, there's a new thing going on. So on the newspaper, in one place, they said, you are not a horse. Because they're taking horse medicine to get free from COVID. So the newspaper, in bold letters, you are not a horse. You are not a cow. Still, silly people are taking what can be done. So, Krishna says, you are riding on a machine made of material energy. So this is not difficult to understand. You rode in the car, you drove your car. When you're in the car, it seems like it's one entity. But then you get out. So the same way, the soul is different, completely distinct from the machine, from the body. Krishna uses the word yantra, machine or car. So Krishna says, I am the super director of the highway of life. So that's the second aspect. Oh, there's some more information about Krishna in the heart. Savasya chahang hridisani vishno matak smritir jnanam apohanang cha. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, by the way, since I'm in your heart, it is me who is causing you to remember. I am the one giving you knowledge, and I am also the one causing you to forget. So that's why he's the super director. And there's another verse. There's a lot of verses in Bhagavad Gita about Krishna in the heart. Chapter 13. I urge you to study chapter 13. So much information about Krishna in the heart. Here's one of my favorites. Upadrastanumantacha bharta bhokta maheshwara paramatmi chapi yukto dehesmin purusha para. Upadrasta hi anumanta. Krishna in the heart is sanctioning, thumbs up or thumbs down, because not everybody wins the football game. Some win, some lose. Two boxers go into the ring. One comes out victorious. So Krishna says, I am the sanctioner, the permitter. And also I am the overseer, the witness. I remember every year when I was a child, during the Christmas time, they would sing that silly song. He knows when you want. And I was thinking, what, Santa Claus? Come on, give me a break. But when you come to Bhagavad Gita, now you can understand. Yes, here is someone who knows what I'm thinking, feeling, and willing. Why? He's right there. I have a very loving wife. If we embrace, we can get this close. But inside, no. That belongs to Krishna. Therefore, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Suridam Sarva Bhutanam, I am your best friend. If you can come to accept that, that Krishna is my best friend, your life is successful. I hope that you can say that truthfully for yourself. Krishna is my DS. I've had so many experiences in my life, traveling all over the world, time and time again. It was revealed, it was shown to me. Krishna is my dearmost friend. My favorite story, the first time I went out to distribute books, somebody pulled a gun and put it in my back and said, "Give me all your money." So I was with another devotee. And I said, because I was brand new, I had just joined. I said, "What do I do now?" And he said, "Chant Hare Krishna." Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. The guy ran away. So I said, wow, this mantra really works. So right from the beginning, my faith was there. I was scared. Whew. So Krishna says, I am overseeing, I am sanctioning, and I am your dearmost friend. Now this next verse, Krishna makes it very clear who he is. Here in this next verse, Krishna pulls no punches. He makes it clear. This verse is so strong. Mattak paratarang nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya mayi sarvam idang protang sutre manigana iva. So, this first line, this is it. Mattak paratarang naanyat. Krishna says, no one, nothing is superior to me. Pretty bold statement. And those who challenged Krishna, you can read. The history is there. In the 90 chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto. Incident after incident where Krishna proves, Mattak parataram na anyat, there's no truth superior to me. Nothing, no one. Now, Krishna gives a meditation. Something you can think about. Mayi sarvam idang protang sutre mani gana eva. Krishna says everything you see is like a pearl, set of pearls strung on a thread. Ladies, I'm sure you have nice pearls somewhere in your chest, okay? But those row of pearls can only exist as strong as the thread is. Just like today, my Tulsi necklace broke because it rests on a very thin piece of string or nylon. Luckily, I have extras and I'm going to buy some more now that the boutique is open. Always have to have a stock because you never know. So everything Krishna says is resting on me. That's the key. It's resting on me. And the meditation is like pearls strung on a thread. This is meditation. There are different kinds of meditation, and now meditation is so popular. Even the athletes are doing meditation and the movie stars. And there's at least 1,804,000 different types of meditation. And they're not all the same. But we also do meditation. After all, we do this meditation. Japa meditation. Let's all do it. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. We're meditating on the sound. We're meditating on the syllables. Or you can just come to the temple, look at the deities. You're doing meditation. Meditation simply means concentrating the mind on this person, Krishna, who just said, nothing is superior to him. Let's see what else I came up with. Oh, let's learn more about this Krishna. Vedahang samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mangtu veda na kaschana. Krishna says here, you know what, Arjuna? I know everything that happened in the past. I know what's going on right now, and I can see into the future. That proves we're not God. If you knew what the stock market was going to be tomorrow, you'd be home right now, making your plans. But the thing is, we don't. Our knowledge is limited. But here Krishna is saying, Krishna is boasting, you can even say, I know everything, past, present, future. That's why he's God. When you can do that, then we can talk. But until then, accept Krishna. What else did I find? In the Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 10, there is what is called the nutshell verses. The Chatu Shloki of Bhagavad Gita. The 4 important, most seed verses. The first one, Ahang sarvasya prabhavo mattak sarvang pravartate Sri Sri Radha Giridhari ki jai Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki jai Sri Sri Gaur Nitai ki jai Sri Krishna Pri Janmastami ki jai. Jai. Hare Krishna. So in this first of the Chatu Shloki of Bhagavad Gita, Ahang sarvasya prabhava mattak sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mang buddha bhava samanvita. First line, Ahang sarvasya prabhava. Krishna says, everything comes from me. That's another definition of the absolute truth. In the Vedanta, what is the definition of the absolute truth? Everything comes from the absolute truth. Everything rests on the absolute truth. And in the end, everything will enter the absolute truth. So here Krishna is saying, everything comes from me. And Buddha Bhava Samanvita. Those who know this, what are they? Buddha. They are very wise. If you know, if you're convinced that Krishna, that everything comes from Krishna, material or spiritual, then you are very wise, very learned. And what will you do? Bhajante. You'll worship. Bhajante actually means you'll serve Krishna. Bhaj, the root word bhaj, generally means to worship. Like we worship demigods or great personalities. But actually, bhaj means to render service. And since, I think it's coming up, I'm not sure, but just in case I didn't pick it, Krishna says, you, me, all of us, we are part and parcel of Krishna. Part and parcel. Here's this young boy, your child, part and parcel of you. He didn't make himself, right? You did it. Congratulations. So Krishna is saying, you are my angsha. You are my child. I love that. Child of God. I was raised on that concept. You're a child of God. Here Krishna makes it very clear in Bhagavad Gita. Yes, you are my angsha. You're my child. Now behave yourself. That's the problem. Some of us are good children of Krishna. Some of us are a little bit rascal, including myself. Just ask my wife, she'll tell you. All right, let's go. Yasmat ksharam atitoham aksharad api chottama atosmi loke vede cha prathita purushottama. This is in the 15th chapter. For many people, This is their favorite chapter, 15th chapter. So here, in the context of this verse, in this 15th chapter, Krishna says there's two kinds of persons. In the material world, everyone is fallible. Like we say, to err is human. So, don't worry about it. You're bound to make a mistake. Don't lose sleep. You're a human being. You have 4 defects inherent. So you're going to make mistakes. You're fallible. And then Krishna said that in the spiritual world, everyone is infallible. They don't make mistakes. But then Krishna says, me, I am above both of you. Tied in with what he said in chapter 7. Yes, even in the kingdom of God, Krishna will still remain supreme. He may agree to deal with you intimately, but all the devotees understand at any moment, I must be ready to be submissive, humble. Like Lord Chaitanya was saying, always remain meek and humble. Purusha Uttama, one of my favorite names of Krishna. Everybody say, Purushottama. Purusha Uttama. Aha. Purusha means person, enjoyer. And Uttama, topmost, transcendental, all spiritual, the best. Everything, there's no contradiction in Bhagavad, at least not the Bhagavad Gita I read. Some people read Bhagavad Gita, they get confused. And I tell them, that's because you're reading the wrong Gita. You have to read BBT Prabhupada's Gita. Then you won't get confused. Somebody else's Gita Shmita, I don't know what they're reading. We read, Prabhupada even calls it, Bhagavad Gita as it is. Not according to this guy, that guy, using Krishna's Bhagavad Gita to spout their own philosophy. No. Read Bhagavad Gita as it is. It's available in the boutique. It's available from the devotees. All right. So, in chapter 4, there's a series of verses where Krishna explains himself. Ajopi son of Yayatma, Bhutanang Ishwaropi son, Prakriting swam adishtaya, Sambhavami Atma Mayaya. First, Aja. Krishna is unborn. Prabhu, tomorrow you're celebrating Janmashtami. You're saying that Krishna took birth. Now you're saying he's unborn? That will be explained tomorrow. Who's giving the class tomorrow? Are you Dravida giving the class? Balaram? So now you got something to explain. How is Krishna appearing on Janmashtami and he's still unborn, huh? Come back tomorrow. Anyway, for tonight, Krishna is unborn and he's talking about his body. Avyaya. No deterioration. Wouldn't you love that? Ladies, can you imagine remaining like you were when you were 16 years old? You'd die for that. They're paying billions of dollars in Hollywood just to try to hold on. But Krishna says, no, my body is without deterioration. Ishwara, I'm the Supreme Lord. And when I come in my own original transcendental form, not a material form. This is a big item. Because there are people who think, oh, when God comes, he comes in a human body. Mixing. Human form that Krishna appeared does not mean human body. It looks like a human body, but here he says transcendental. It's a transcendental form. That's Krishna. He comes. And how does he come? By his Atma Mayaya, his internal spiritual pleasure potency. When Krishna comes, he comes to play, to have fun. That's why we use the word Leela. Prabhu, I've read Krishna Leela. He's killing so many demons, yes, but he's doing it nonchalantly. He's having fun when he kills the demons. And if it looks like Krishna is struggling, that's just for a show. Because you have to make a good movie. So that's what Krishna's Leela is. He's coming down and showing, giving you a glimpse of what is the spiritual world. These next two verses are very, very famous. People know India know these two verses. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanang srijamyaham. So these next two verses explains why and when Krishna appears. First of all, either Krishna himself or Krishna's expansion or Krishna's representative will come whenever there is dharmasya glani, discrepancy in the execution of prescribed duties of religion, as it is now. So much nonsense going on now in the whole world. That is called dharmasya glani. All the lying and cheating and stealing, that's dharmasya glani. Krishna says, I come whenever there is this dharmasya glani in the world. And what do? I establish the real religion. We're not talking Muslim, Christian, Hindu, Buddha. No. That's a club. We're talking about truth. Truth is not American or Russian or this. No. Truth is truth. So real religion is only one real religion. What is that religion? Love of God. That's real religion. If you're following some path, some yoga, some philosophy, some religion, and you're not developing love of God, it's time to change the channel. Come to Krishna. Come to Krishna consciousness and learn how to love Krishna. That is the whole purpose of chanting this Hare Krishna mantra. To develop your dormant love for the person in your heart, Krishna. Let's all chant it one time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Very good, very good. Next verse. Paritranaya sadhunang vinashaya cha duskritam dharma sangstapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Three more things Krishna does. Paritranaya sadhunang. Krishna comes to deliver the devotees. If you're here today in this temple, consider yourself a devotee. I congratulate you. Because if you weren't a devotee, you wouldn't last 1 minute here. You would think, oh, these people are crazy. But you stayed. You stayed for an hour kirtan. You're staying for my vituperation. You must be devotees. Yes. And simultaneously, vinashaya cha duskritam. When Krishna comes, he destroys the demoniac, the unrighteous, the bullies, the rascals, the demons, and establishes real religion. Again, love of God. Now, should I end at 7:15? Should I do that? Up to you. I think that's what the schedule said, so I'll keep to the schedule. So just one more verse. Yes, Prabhu?
No, I'm saying, I know what the verse is. Great verse.
So, Chaturvidya bhajante mang jana sukritin Arjuna. Artho jigyasa artarti. Gyani cha bharatarshava. So this verse tells us what kind of person first comes to Krishna. So, 4 kinds of people come to Krishna from the beginning. So, what do they want? They come with a purpose. Some come out of distress. Materialistic life inevitably becomes distressful. If somebody is fortunate, they come to Krishna. Or if somebody is in need of money, they may come to Krishna. Or somebody may be inquisitive. What are they doing in that building over there? And why do they wear those robes? And what is the paint on their face? And who are these people, these Hare Krishnas? So, someone may be inquisitive. And then the rare soul, somebody who is actually serious about achieving the absolute truth. So in my case, I checked off 3 boxes. When I came to this movement in 1973, I was definitely in a lot of distress. Oh my God. I was so miserable. So that was one reason, distress. I was also inquisitive because I got my first book. I read it. I liked it. I liked the picture of Prabhupada on the back. And I wanted to know more. So I became inquisitive. And then, deep down, as time went on, I realized, actually, I'm looking for the absolute truth. I am. So I checked off 3 boxes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. I'm going to go overtime for one more verse. Do I have your permission? Good. I like that. Thumbs up. I like that. You get a bell. This was the first verse I memorized in 1973. When I joined the temple, they would send me out on the subways of New York City all day. I'd have my bucket for collecting donations and passing out books. So I'd go on the subway, and when the subway started, I would make an announcement on the subway car, and then I would go down the lines. So in between waiting for trains, because you take the train from one end to another, the A train, the E train, the F train, the D train. Remember, Javita, your New York days? Oh, you're also from, okay. Que pasa, New York. So in between, I had a stack of index cards because one of my godbrothers, what was his name? Pushkar. He had a stack of cards, and every morning I would see him in the temple reading these cards. I'd say, Prabhu, what are you doing? He said, I'm memorizing Bhagavad Gita shloka. So I also did that. So in between waiting for the subways, I would take out my pack of index cards and recite. He told me the only way to memorize verses is to chant it over and over and over and over and over until you memorize it. This was the first verse I memorized. Yomam evam asamudho janati purushottamam sasarva vid bhajati mang sarva bhavena bharata. Krishna says, just before ending chapter 15, Krishna says, not I say, Krishna says, if you know me, if you understand me to be Purushottama, to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, if you know that without doubting, asammuda, without doubting, then you are the knower of everything. Then someone's going to ask, you know everything. Come on, give me a break. Here's the context. If you know everything about an illusion, if you know everything about a dream, what value is it? This material existence is a dream. Yes. This is a hard concept for many people, even devotees, to accept. What? Yeah, yes. It's directly stated in Bhagavad Gita more than once. This material existence is a dream. It's an illusion. A dream. So, you may know so many things, PhDs up the wall. What good is it? At the time of death, Yamaraj is going to come. Let's go. What good? As I said many times. Say you're Bill Gates or some big Elon Musk. You have billions of dollars. When Yamaraj comes, you can't buy him out. You can't make a stock options deal. No, you have to leave it all behind. So what value is there in learning everything about this dream of material existence? But if you know Krishna, as the Supreme Krishna says, you know everything. All in favor of Krishna say Hari Bol. Hari Bol. All right. Thank you for attending my lecture. I hope you enjoyed it as much as me, because I am right now just so happy. You have a question?
Yes,
Hari Bol.
comment really.
Okay.
We're so blessed that you came with any form of
Jai.
I just wanted to say that I came here like 20 years ago because I was doing research that was vegetarian, and now I'm vegan, and that believed in eternal life, which I know is it. And I came in here and I heard everyone chanting, and I was hooked.
Jai.
Haribol.
Stay hooked. Hari Bol. Yes, sir. No, I never said I was Hindu. I said all my friends are Hindu.
I see.
I didn't say, if I was Hindu, I would have been allowed in the Jagannath Puri temple.
I see.
So I'm not Hindu.
So you're not allowed in the Jagannath?
No, because I'm not Hindu.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, and other temples too. No, all my friends are Hindu, and most likely in a previous life, I was either a Gujarati or a Bengali or whatever. Anyway, in this life, I'm Americano.
Okay.
But at least I have Prabhupada and Krishna. All in favor of taking prasadam, say Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Thank you very much. I hope to see you next month, God willing. Hare Krishna.